Boris Johnson said that Islamophobia is a natural reaction to Islam and that Islam is the problem.
Here's a summary of the article.
Boris Johnson's Conservative Party has been accused by Muslim leaders in the UK of allowing Islamophobia to fester within their ranks. Johnson has ruled out holding a specific inquiry into the issue and has previously sought to downplay and even justify Islamophobia in the UK. Islamophobia is a natural reaction. Getty. To any non-Muslim reader of the Quran, Islamophobia, fear of Islam, seems a natural reaction, and exactly what that text is intended to provoke, he wrote. Islamophobia goes right up to the top of the Conservative Party. Former Conservative co-chair Baroness Warsi told Business Insider last year that Islamophobia goes right up to the top of the Conservative Party. It's very widespread. It exists right from the grassroots, all the way up to the top, she told BI. She said that Islamophobia was now very widespread in the party but was being deliberately ignored at the highest levels for electoral reasons. The Conservative leadership has so far resisted calls for an inquiry into Islamophobia in the party.
This post received a score of 51,812, with an upvote ratio of 79%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Business Insider, you dropped this from the title. Strange to be reporting this as news 14 years later.
This is all purely political games by the two parties. A prominent rabbi recently made a similar comment about anti-Semitism within labor, and suspiciously these articles started coming out and getting promoted right after. Not saying one side is better than the other, but it is kind of funny that Muslims and Jews are being so blatantly exploited against one another in this election.
Greater than, but it is kind of funny that Muslims and Jews are being so blatantly exploited against one another in this election. As is tradition.
This is one of Boris' dead cats. Just now there has been a release of documents showing that the Tories plan to sell the NHS, and Boris would much rather people talk about his xenophobia than this.
His response to that is clever. NHS will not be part of any formal talks, which to me, reads that it can be part of informal discussions. Greater than.
Or that the decision has already been made and there is nothing to discuss.
After reading the article, he apparently said this 13 years ago. How is it news? Because election coming up, I guess.
Seems most likely. People higher up in the thread are talking about how this is some grand manipulation to distract you from the NHS, but since this is 14-year-old news, it seems much more likely that it's the usual cycle of outlets digging up all the dirt they can to ensure the highest chance of their preferred candidate getting elected. The manipulation in this scenario isn't coming from Boris Johnson, it's coming from the media.
I dislike every religion, but something tells me Boris old boy is hoping people focus their hate on the people, not the idea.
You have to remember this was immediately after British-born Muslim terrorists killed 56 people. Writing an article of anything less than "you need to clean up your shit and take a stand against this because people are terrified" would be far too soft.
I am Muslim man, but there is nothing I hate more than institutionalized religion. I have questioned my faith many times due to the dirty politics and dumb fucking rules which have not been changed with change in time, and have come to the conclusion that faith should be personal. I don't need a Maulvi or a pastor to connect me with God. They sound like sleazy middlemen to me.
Well, been feeling the same way for a while myself as a Christian man, glad to hear I'm not on my own in thinking this. Organized religion can get real icky. I've felt closer to God in my own personal experiences more so than I have had in church.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.